So here guys, a pro player picked Masha in MPLPH, and it was from the TNC Pro team. You can see that Masha's damage is really painful, and Harith almost died. The enemies were also caught off guard because Hylos was forced to use Revitalize, and Faramis had to use his ultimate, plus Harith's Flicker got burned too. The ambush setup by Chip was actually really good, but I was surprised why Masha didn't charge in. She should have just walked instead of going through the portal since she was already close. It could have been a sandwich play. That's why Harith still managed to recall. But here, I liked what he did. He only had 1 HP bar left, so he went back first before going into the portal, which I also mentioned in my previous video as the right thing to do. And because of that, the enemies were wiped out. Though it's risky, because if the portal got destroyed right away, the result would have definitely been different. And they actually won that game, and he became the MVP. And because of that, I got even more motivated to use Masha. Because if she was effective in the pro scene where team fights happen all the time and 1v1 fights are rare, how much more in ranked games where isolated fights are more common since we all know players here tend to play individually. That's exactly where Masha is strong, so for sure she'll be even more effective when used in ranked games. By the way, my lane opponent was Zilong in the EXP lane. I also saw a comment on my previous video, you can check it out, saying that Zilong is supposedly one of Masha's counters, which is actually funny because that hero is really trash right now. He can't even match up against the meta EXP laners, while Masha can hold her own against them. Zilong is just garbage in the current meta. He can only go up against heroes that are just as trash as he is. But of course, no matter how strong your hero is, if you don't know how to use it properly, like this Veil here, it's still useless. Here there was a turtle objective, but Karina was just farming, and she was so good that she only went there after the enemy had already taken it. I even checked if her retribution was available, and it was, so she really just gave it away to the enemy. I also mentioned this in my previous video. After using Masha for a long time, the heroes I really struggle against are those who are both tanky and deal high damage. If it's a hero with high damage but is squishy like Zilong, Masha can easily take them on, unless it's her natural counters like Argus and Sun. Masha really struggles against them, but if you play smart, she can still win. So this is what you're calling a counter to Masha? Zilong could barely do anything, even with Farsa helping him. If only Zilong's ultimate had CC immunity, it might have been decent. Or maybe something like a Purify effect where you remove all CC when using it, like Wanwan's second skill or Argus's ultimate. That would actually be a solid buff for Zilong. And to be honest, Masha does have a lot of counters in the early game because she's pretty easy to lane against at the start. But in the late game, she barely has any real counters anymore. Only Sun and Argus are the ones I see who can really stand up to her, or just build Wind of Nature. HP-based damage doesn't do much against Masha either, so for someone to say Demon Hunter's sword is a counter to her really made me question how much they actually know about Masha. You were already off with Zilong, and now even your item suggestion doesn't make sense. Wind of Nature is the best counter item to Masha, bro. Demon Hunter's sword is useless against her. Next time, make sure you fully understand a hero before commenting stuff like that. So I got a double kill here, and it would have been the perfect opportunity to take Lord since Karina was already close to it, and 2 enemies were up top, and 2 were already dead. But instead of going for the Lord, she prioritized chasing the enemies in the top lane first. Here we go again. Enemy jungler and Zilong are already dead, but Karina still tries to fight and can't even secure a kill. That would have been an easy Lord for us. And Veil? Earlier he couldn't even land his skills properly, yet he keeps trying to flicker in like he knows what he's doing, totally blind. But yeah, we still had a chance to take Lord because our marksman and tank already started it, and the Lord was already half HP, but Karina just kept farming and said to wait. Like, what the heck? Wait for the enemy jungler to respawn? She could have just gone there already. So that opportunity to take Lord was wasted, but what I did instead was push the bottom lane. I was ready to sacrifice myself as long as I could take down the enemy's inhibitor turret. I always do this. That's why my KDA is usually low, but I make up for it with turret damage. Luckily though, I actually survived this time. And yeah, Karina ended up dying here. Pretty useless, honestly. Good thing our tank managed to set up on 2 important targets, and finally Veil's skills actually hit. If he missed that again, I don't even know what to say anymore. But to be fair, the enemy Zilong was actually strong. He almost got a triple kill here. By the way, as much as possible, you shouldn't focus on how fast you can drain Masha's HP, because when she loses even just 1 HP bar, she removes all crowd control except suppression, and at the same time, her ultimate cooldown resets. So you definitely don't want that to happen. It's better to focus on how to sustain through Masha's damage. Like I said, building Wind of Nature if you're a marksman, or Twilight Armor if you're a tank. Honestly, everything he said in his comment is pretty questionable. You can just look for his comment on this video yourself. And for those asking about my emblem, just check my other videos. I've been using the same emblem build ever since. As for the items, they vary slightly depending on the situation, so just look at the match result. Also, the emblem used by the pro player who played Masha is the same as the one I use. But yeah, despite all the dumb plays our jungler made, we still won this game. And once again, my teammates had to carry hard. It really has to be like this if you want to win. You can't afford to chill because for sure you're gonna lose. Next game, I used Masha again in the EXP lane, and this is what usually happens when I help our jungler. I need to use my first skill to speed things up, but it reduces my HP, so I immediately used Regan here. By the way, my lane opponent was Yu Zhong, and honestly, just like Zilong, I consider heroes like him easy food for Masha, no matter how good the player is. Yu Zhong is slightly better than Zilong, but he still struggles because it's hard for him to stack his passive against Masha. The mark disappears every time I lose an HP bar, and that's exactly what makes Yu Zhong strong, when he can continuously stack. But since Masha naturally counters that mechanic, she has a huge advantage in this matchup. So here, I just decided to help our jungler take the turtle before the enemies could arrive, since Fredrin farms really slow, even after his recent buff. I managed to kill Matilda and we did secure the turtle, but the 3 of them ended up dying right after. Of course, even Layla died, despite it being just a 1v1 in the top lane. It seems like their roamer was more focused on the EXP lane. Maybe they were worried he would get crushed. He really would get crushed if it were just a 1v1. Yu Zhong was already almost dead here, and I had only used 1 ultimate. That same scenario happened twice. I just cut the clip, but after the first time, he went back home. I ended up turret diving here because I knew I could handle it. I thought I was the one who used Petrify, but it was actually him. Good thing mine got cancelled because I realized I didn't really need to use it. If you noticed Yu Zhong's movements, he's really scared of me. He's already imagining what could happen if I charge at him. Feels like deja vu. He's just getting bullied right under his own turret and there's nothing he can do. Here's another one. Super satisfying because this is the 3rd time already. If only Joy didn't show up, I wouldn't have been forced to use my secret recall technique, but I got my revenge right after anyway. It really feels great to use Masha, especially in solo rank games where enemies rarely group up. I even killed Joy there, and Yu Zhong wanted to follow up, so I just granted his wish. How many times do I have to kill you? Even when you die, you just keep respawning. When you're down to just 1 HP bar but have enough energy to use your 4th skill, stay away from the enemy first, use your 4th skill, and only engage again once you're ready. And look, I even got a triple kill and I'm still alive. I just scared Joy here to make the minions get into turret range and trigger the holy defense, so mission accomplished. The fight was a bit all over the place, but for me, I felt like the boss. Anyone I got close to was a guaranteed kill. I was the one being avoided, and they were the ones I was hunting down. I did end up dying here since I only had 2 HP bars left, but I still managed to take down Luo Yi, who was giving my teammates a hard time, and I got Beatrix to low HP too. It's Layla's time to shine. Estes is so good, he didn't even heal Layla. Good thing Joy was offbeat there, so she couldn't maximize her damage. And honestly, it felt more like a highlight moment for Estes than for Layla. Here's Layla's highlight moment.
Do you know what violence is static star?
I killed Beatrix, then I backed off since the enemies could easily burst me down. I thought it was an easy lord for us, but the enemies ended up taking it, and even wiped out most of my teammates. But there's no need to worry, because we still have Layla. My Petrify missed there because Luo Yi suddenly used Sprint, and now I'm the one being hunted by the enemy. But I won't let them take me down that easily. Here I didn't expect two enemies to suddenly attack me. Good thing Joy was offbeat again, so I managed to survive that. I was able to kill Beatrix here, then immediately pushed the mid lane inhibitor turret right after. Layla's in God mode here, and when she plays like this, I know it's a sure win. Here's the funny part. I thought it was a sure win, so I went straight to the enemy base and used Winter Crown, but I ended up getting killed instead. Then Beatrix got a triple kill and the game almost flipped on us.